Find something. Find a thing that you genuinely enjoy, because getting good at things you genuinely enjoy is extremely beneficial for young people. I didn't know I wasn't a loser until I started winning, until I started doing martial arts. Martial arts taught me that like I could get better at stuff, that I wasn't really a loser. I just was someone who was like in a situation. But you could channel all that energy that you have as a young person into something and get better at it. And then all of a sudden people admired me. I was like, this is crazy. So I went from being someone who was incredibly insecure and basically a failure to someone who was really successful at this one thing that was very dangerous, that other people were scared of. And that gave me immense confidence and also a real understanding of the direct correlation between hard work and success.
Self-regulation is your ability to monitor your behavior, your ability to regulate your emotions, and your ability to be in control. I don't want to be a person that's always focused on being disciplined. I want to be a person that has mastered self-regulation, a person that has mastered being able to say yes, being able to say no, and then simultaneously being able to play with the balance of balance. Most people apply self-discipline and they neglect so many beautiful things that they could experience in life because, oh, well, I just got to be hard on myself. No, not necessarily. You just have to self-regulate, understand how to manage your life, and understand that it's a lot more enjoyable when you are a person that has self-control as opposed to a person that is just following a set of rules over an extended period of time.
When you're feeling the most trapped and down and nothing can't go right, I feel like those are the moments that define you. Those are those character canon moments that are like, what am I going to do now? You know, how do you respond to that? And thinking your way, feeling your way, working your way through those things on the other side, it's like, you know, I don't know who said the saying, but like usually, you know, you're the closest to getting what you want is always the hardest. It's always the feeling when you're getting ready to, you know, people give up right before they get what they've always wanted to get. People quit and they give up. And I will not be the person who quit before I got what I wanted or what I needed or what I felt I was supposed to have, you know? Like, and if that wasn't for me, it wasn't for me. I'm gonna keep grinding, I'm gonna keep knocking on the door until I get what I feel.
When a boxer wins a boxing match at the highest level, that's cool. But you know how many private victories went into that? How much people don't see? So just understand, whatever you want in life, the bigger the public victory, the more private victories are going to need to go into it. After 10 years of doing one singular thing, it will start to look effortless. And I think sometimes people look at someone's career or how good someone is at something and they go, I could never do that. They just make it look so effortless. They make it look so easy. Of course, when you work that hard, it starts to look easy. It starts to look elegant. And you really start to have that effect after 10 years onwards. When someone has been doing something for 10 years plus, it will start to look effortless. And just understand that shouldn't scare you when you first start. That's a part of their process. They had to go through that process of things being clunky and them being bad at things. And they had to do it so many years, a decade plus, and then it starts to look effortless.
Another one from you that I absolutely adore. It just takes work, shitloads and shitloads of work. Every time I try and dress it up or cut a corner, I get brutally reminded the work just needs doing. The work doesn't care who you are. It just cares that it gets done.
I'm actually going to reverse quote David Goggins on this one. But I love this quote that he has, which he says, there's no shortcuts for you, David, or there's no shortcuts for you, Goggins. I heard him say that, and I just love that as a refrain, which is that a lot of people look for a shortcut. But the idea that you say, like, they're not for you, you don't get to use them. You are immune to shortcuts. I just love it because then it just further shortcuts the path to the work that needs to get done. I've never regretted working harder, ever, not once. And some people are like, on your deathbed, you're gonna, like, no, because I lived every moment of my day doing what I wanted to do.
And I've realized I actually don't like the term mental health. You know, it sounds like a fixed destination. It sounds like, you know, if you don't have health, like if you're not perfect, there's something wrong with you. So any kind of divergence or sadness means you're imperfect, right? And that's not true. And I think it's an unfair standard to call it mental health. And I think Being a human, you are 100% mentally fit if you have sadness and if you have joy and if you have doubt and uncertainty and insecurity. That's what it is to be human. Like, your body sometimes has pain. There's nothing wrong with your body. And so I like to call it mental fitness rather than mental health, right? I'm always working on my mental fitness.
Life is a box of surprises, and it's hard, It's not easy, to be in this level and still push and still motivate to carry on, to score goals, to be in a good shape, to compete with the young lions. They coming, and when they play against me, they want to show me that they are stronger than me and faster than me. You have to prepare very well, not in terms of physically, but mentally too. I think it's very hard, but in the same way, it's a challenge, because as you can see, if you treat good your body, you can maintain so many years, and this is the big challenge for me, and it's great. I feel proud for that.
I still believe 100% the human mind is a lot more powerful than any sort of AI, because you can not only tap into what is this physical realm and your consciousness, but you can tap into ethereal realms, and you can tap into different realities, and you can tap into different frequencies. And I think that is also extremely important, because you're in a situation now where people are running autopilot. And I think if you can develop those skills like thinking, oration, they're going to come from constant repetition, which is extremely important, training, and exposing yourself to scenarios that are going to push you. And people aren't willing to commit to one thing and see it through, like consistently work on it and become really, really good. So people got to stick to some lane. And like you said, bro, AI is one of those lanes that you better get on.
You have to learn to train your mind well beyond motivation. If you have motivation, that's great. That's some kindling to the fire. All it takes is a little bit of spark, you can burn a whole forest up. But motivation, you have to learn to exist without it. You have to learn to be your best self when you're least motivated. And that's the tricky part about all. Motivation is just a word. You have to have these different things in your mind on where you want to go, and know that motivation is not going to get me there, because I'm not going to always be motivated.
Jocko said the exact same thing. He said that discipline eats motivation for breakfast.
I wanted to ask you, what do you feel is the hardest thing you've had to do in order to be who you are today?
I think continuing to have the belief in myself and not letting that veer off since I was young, since I've been told from my teachers that I would never amount to nothing. The bullying or the things that you face, the adversity you face, the discrimination, and just continuing to keep your head up, continuing to march on ahead towards your dream and never losing sight of that. I think that's definitely for sure the most difficult thing, is keeping your goal and your eyes set on that and not being distracted, not giving up. I think the easiest thing in life is to give up on whatever you're focused on or whatever you're hopeful for. The hardest thing is to keep going, but we have to continue to hold on. And I would imagine for so many people out there, that is probably the most difficult thing.